It's a Wonderful Life, bro. That's all I can, that's, I don't know if you ever watched that movie.
But
It's a Wonderful Life. Bro, you need to watch that. You ever watched it, young man?
No, sir.
You ever watched it, sir? So, it's a Wonderful Life. The movie was made back in the 30s, back in the 40s. Y'all probably don't even remember, hey, what's the white guy name? Anyway, it's an old movie. It was done in black and white. That's just how old it was. But anyway, this guy, it was during the Christmas holiday. This guy, uncle had messed up some money, and everybody was looking for him. He ran, they had a savings and loan. And they were looking for him, going to put him in jail and stuff like that. So he prayed that he don't survive, that he never was born. He prayed that he never was born. So God granted him that, to see what would happen in the world if he never was born. So his little brother, when his little brother was 7 years old, he was 10, they was out skating on the pond, and his little brother fell through the ice. And he ran and died in the ice and saved his brother. Well, because he never was born, his brother ended up dying. So when he was a teenager, he worked for a pharmacy. And the man had got a letter that his son had died during the war. During the war, his plane had got shot down. And the man made a mistake and gave the wrong medicine. So he didn't deliver the medicine to the girl. So when he came back, the man hit him in the head. Why you didn't take this medicine to that girl? She's still sick. So he told him, Mr. Gal, if you gave that girl that one, that's the wrong medicine. And the man tasted it, he realized that he had gave her actually some poison. So because he hadn't been born, the girl ended up dying. She took that poison, that man ended up spending his whole life in prison. So God has revealed that to me over my lifetime, how I have literally, and I'm saying I'm no different than nobody else. All of us, you might not realize it, but all of us have saved somebody's life, and you don't realize just the fact you might have said something to them or something like that, but it's called It's a Wonderful Life. It's an old movie, y'all might not get into it, but I promise. Look at it the way I just said. Take yourself out of it and say, what would happen if I had never lived? Whose lives would have been different on this earth?
Next question. How does your brother...
you were...
So, I'm always recording.
Yeah.
Oh, you recording that?
Yes, sir. But ask that question again because I didn't get it when you started.
Okay.
I didn't know you were recording.
Yes, sir. Okay. You got to get it on.
I just got to ask the question. I can move on to the next one.
Yeah, we can ask the question and then move on to the next one.
Okay.
I don't have to answer?
No. I want you to answer it again.
Okay.
Just, what would your younger self say or believe,
Okay. You ready? What does your younger self think of the man and the business you've become today?
That's an excellent question, because as I was driving down here today, I was thinking about that, and I think about that all the time. I speak to a lot of youth programs, and I tell kids when I speak to them, I'm on the advisory board of a community college, and I tell them all the time to go ahead and plan your funeral. Go ahead and write your obituary at 90, what you want to have happen to you. And I thank God that when I was 10, 11, 12 years of age, I made a commitment that what I wanted to do in life. And I wanted to get married at 24. I wanted to open up my own business by 25. I wanted to go into Africa. And I wanted to open up a private schools for kids, for black males. And I would say right now that I'm proud of myself because I've done all of those except for the School for Black Boys, which I'm getting ready to start working on that the first of this year. So I would like to say to myself, you did it. It's a wonderful life. And I'd like to share with everybody, all you got to do is make that commitment at an early age. And I promise you, if you make that commitment, that you can live a wonderful life, and the dreams and the desires and aspirations that you have will come true.
How does your brother Blow and sister Glow's legacy show up in your work today?
So, my brother Blow, which is my oldest brother, who died in 1999 at 48 years of age. Then my sister Glow, her name was Gloria, we called her Glow. She died in '98 of a car wreck. But they were real supportive of everything I did. They were real supportive. My oldest brother, Blow, was real supportive, encouraged me to do everything that I wanted to do. My sister the same way. I used to ship auto parts over into West Africa. And my sister used to tell me when she got out of the military that she was going to go over to West Africa and work for me and show me how to do it. So they were real supportive no matter what kind of idea I had. They were real supportive. And because of their bubbly personality and their support, I wanted to name the company after them, Blow Glow.
Since we're talking about the inspiration, was there a time you wanted to quit, and what kept you going?
No, I never wanted to quit. I'm 65 years of age. I think I worked for somebody else maybe 3.5 years my whole life. And the fact that I worked for somebody else, I think about 18 months when I first got out of college, I knew ain't nowhere in the hell. Ain't nowhere in the hell I'm gonna work for nobody else the rest of my life. You know, and quitting just ain't in my vocabulary. I'll tell you a little history. My father had his own business. So my father was in the World War II. While he was in a foxhole, one of our trucks, friendly truck, ran over the foxhole and crushed the foxhole, where it broke my father's leg and damaged his back. And my father laid over in Germany on his back for 6 months, couldn't even move. They finally got him healthy and brought him back to the United States. And they brought him down to Charleston, South Carolina to continue rehab. Well, they were telling him he would be 100% disabled. And that, you know, just go home and sit down and take that. And my dad said, no, I ain't that type of person. He asked, well, what kind of business could I possibly do? So they bought him a list of business, and he picked out this business called upholstery. So he became an upholsterer. And so he became an upholsterer. He moved to Lombard and started working for this guy, upholstery guy, Caucasian guy. He worked with him for years. But my father literally left his job in 1965 with 9 kids, 1 wife who never worked outside the home at that time, about 10 hogs, 3 dogs, cats, chickens, and everything to start his own business. And with coming from that kind of background, I don't have no excuse in the world. Don't have no excuse. He would not accept the government check. He had to go to work. And I like to say that that business, even though my father's gone, that business is still in existence today. But can you imagine, in the 60s, a black man starting his own business, walking away with 9 kids and a wife? We don't have no excuse today.
What's one herb or ingredient you think people should be using, and why?
Burdock Naturals. I mean, Burdock. Burdock is one of the most amazing herbs. I'm telling you, I did research on herbs. I mean, again, I went through all the shows, everything. I know they come up with all these new herbs now, turmeric and all this stuff. I promise, if somebody take the time to really research Burdock, you'll find that Burdock is the best herb, I personally think, in the world. I take my pills daily. Again, I'm 65 years of age. Don't take no supplements at all. No prescription drugs. And that is very rare for a black man over 55 years of age.
So Uncle Johnny, through all this experience, what's been your most proudest moment since launching the brand?
Gosh, that's a good question. There's so many proud moments. There's so many proud moments. I tell you, one of the most exciting things that I've seen that really knew I had something, made me real feel good that I was impacting lives, was I was actually down here in Charlotte at the CIAA tournament, and a young lady came and bought my products, and her skin was toe up. She had bumps all over her skin. It was toe up. And she could not really look up, hold her head up to look up. She was so embarrassed about her skin. Especially when you start talking about what this does for skin. She knew she had terrible skin. So she bought the products. She bought about 3 or 4 bars that day. And then obviously she went online and started ordering. Well, about 3 months later, I had to do another trade show down here. And this girl came up to me with her head held high. With her head held high and told me, "Do you remember me?" I said, "You look kind of familiar, but I'm not sure." She said, "I'm the girl that came, that I had all them bumps on my face and I was looking." I said, "Oh yeah, I remember you." She said, "Look at me now." And to see the impact that it had, that she was able to exude more self-confidence, that just warmed my heart. But I found out over the years that a lot of people are hesitant. Nobody want to have skin issues. So if their skin could be improved, then they you know, we want to be part of that. There's a divine you that God created. And that divine you also includes the beauty of your body. And we want to be part of helping you to create that divine you.
And one more question. What advice would you give someone who wants to start a purpose-driven business but doesn't know where to begin?
Pause. You got to get rid of that watch, man.
Yeah.
It's causing havoc on you right now.
It's going to pick it up too heavy.
He go? Oh,
Nah, he's still around here.
I was going to take off just hit him with the whole shirt. You need me to ask the question again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So y'all ready?
What advice would you give someone who wants to start a purpose-driven business?
The first thing I would tell them to do is to find out, okay, whatever kind of business it is, whether it's AI or products or whatever, no matter what it is to do as much research on their own about the industry. There's a lot of information for you to learn as much as you can about the industry. And that's what I would say, start with that. And then I tell you, don't be afraid to talk to people. Go out and talk to people that's already in that industry. You'll be surprised how much people are willing to help you, especially real successful people. A lot of times, real successful people will go out their way to help you. So that's what you want to do. And then there's a lot of government agencies. In the state of North Carolina, we've got a lot of government agencies. North Carolina Small Business Technology Center, they help. The city of Charlotte got some programs. The city of Durham, most all the major cities got programs. And they offer a lot of this stuff free. Go to those things, learn as much as you can. And I tell you, if you happen to run across somebody like me, I'll give you my time. I'll give you my time. My life is not my own. I was put here to be a helpmate, to help people, to go to that next level in life. So look for me. When I say look for me, I'm not saying me personally, but look for someone like me. Because we're out here and we're willing to help.
And the last question, if Glow could speak directly to someone struggling with their health, what would it say?
It would say, you need to give us a call or go to our website, www.burdocknaturals.com. And feel free to send in some questions, because although we have those products, because of all my research and studying, I have a lot of knowledge in those areas. And I have people reaching out to me in a lot of other areas. And of course, you'll see it in the future, because where we only got 10 products now, you'll see us growing to 15, 20 products real soon.
All right.
Good deal.